I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if they say bandwagon or not. Dricus Du Plessis just did something to Robert Whittaker that nobody does, right? Yoel Romero could hardly keep Robert Whittaker down. Du Plessis took him down with ease. Israel Adesanya had wars. Romero had wars. They couldn't get that man out of there. Well, Israel Adesanya could, right? But that's neither here nor there. The point is, Dricus Du Plessis, outside of anybody else that's not champion named Israel Adesanya, he's the number one contender. I don't care what anybody says. He has shown time and time again, we keep saying he's not going to win, and he keeps winning, and it doesn't matter if you like it or not, this is the number one guy in the middleweight division. Agree or no?
Agreed, Derek. DDP. I'm glad they gave him that name too, because I feel like now he does deserve a solid nickname. DDP. I'm pretty sure Uncle Child classified it, but either way, man, Du Plessis earned and fought tooth and nail for the spot that he feels like he deserved, and it's hard to deny him, Derek, because like you said, a normal statement or like a consistent statement felt by the fan base is that if Israel Adesanya was not here, Robert Whittaker would be champ. Well, turns out Du Plessis finished him in two rounds, less than 10 minutes. Like, god damn, bro, this was crazy to see, and probably. But there was one other fight that kind of shocked me a little bit more, but not so much because there's a guy in the dog we'll talk about in a second. But this fight, man, proved a lot of people wrong and had a lot of jaws on the floor. It's hard to deny Du Plessis that this guy is the real deal. I'm excited for the fight coming soon. We'll see, Derek. What do you give Du Plessis? Are you putting any stake into the fact that what he did to Robert Whittaker, or are we still counting him out against the Israel Adesanya fight? Because at the table, a lot of people were saying he's going to get smashed by Izzy coming up next. What do you think?
Well, we said the same exact thing for Robert Whittaker, man, and he dropped him with the jab. He dropped him with the jab, bro. You know, like, this dude has just this weird style of fight, right? Got a lot of power, a lot of cardio, and the thing that I had mentioned, I felt like kind of came to fruition, right? Like, it's not always the technical guy that wins. I'm really going to touch on that in a prelim fight right here, but it's not the technical guy that always wins, and Du Plessis has an extra intangible, which he has that will to win. He has that desire to win, that burning passion to win. I'm not saying Whittaker doesn't have that, but it is difficult when you're lining up, you know, fight after fight after fight after fight. There's this new guy, he wants what I have, I'm not going to let him take it. Well, Du Plessis, to him, he said, this is a title fight to me, bro. Like, this isn't just another run-of-the-mill fight. So I think everything goes back to when we were kind of going back and forth over the prompt of, what is Whittaker fighting for? And I think that we just found out this weekend that while he was fighting to defend his rank, right, to stop the guy from taking what was his, you can only do it for so long, bro. And Whittaker, I don't know, did it feel like an off night, or is this 100% Dricus Du Plessis is the man?
That's interesting, Derek, because I did think it felt like an off night. Robert Whittaker didn't even throw his classic right-hand head kick. Like, he did not do the kind of things we expect him to see. He looked calm, though, and especially in the beginning, opening first round, he was bouncing. He had the classic Bobby Knuckles look to him. But then it seemed like Dricus Du Plessis had just a half step, just slightly faster, slightly more intuitive on reading things and seeing things come in just a split second before Robert Whittaker would. So is that an off night? I don't know, Derek. It really, you can see the moment or the build that Dricus Du Plessis had that kind of started to crush the spirit of Robert Whittaker. And then he's really started kind of falling back and taking the second step, you know, not leading the dance anymore, allowing Dricus Du Plessis to fight his kind of fight. And you're right, that step-in jab that DDP had, beautiful. Not many people get dropped with the jab, but the fact that Dricus has that kind of explosive tendency, that blitz, that's blitzing against Robert Whittaker's blitz, beautiful timing, beautiful to see. I would say a little off night for Bobby Knuckles, but again, age comes into play. What are you fighting for comes into play. You're punched in the nose, bleeding, you can't breathe. Do you really want to be here anymore? This guy seems to be the guy. I don't know, Derek, would you say it was an off night?
It's tough to say, man. I can only say one thing for sure, and that's that it doesn't matter if it was an off night or not, but Dricus Du Plessis literally did everything he needed to do to solidify a fight against Israel Adesanya, and then that's what we need to talk about next. Adesanya comes into the cage, and, you know, listen, man, he knows how to build a fight, right? So they're building off of the African contention right there. My brother, but not really my brother, and all types of expletives and all types of craziness, right? But I think the thing that you have to take away from this is the most out of character we've kind of ever seen Israel Adesanya, at least in public, right? And that doesn't really matter to me because, like I said, this is building a fight. Like Dana White said it himself, like, "Why are y'all tripping, bro? Like this is the fight business. They're gonna punch each other in the face. Who cares if they say bad words to each other?" But this was the thing. Du Plessis brought up a good point. He was like, "Isn't it normally the challenger that is supposed to come and storm the cage, right? Isn't it normally that? So that goes to show Adesanya is already looking at me as a real threat." And I was like, okay. I never. Maybe it's a reach, right? Maybe it's a reach. But the point of, if Adesanya acted the most out of character against anybody that we've seen, maybe he literally is saying, "Oh, you just did that to Bobby Knuckles. I remember those wars that I've been in with him. I remember those close fights, and you starched him. All right, now you showed me something. Now I have to off with your head." You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the mentality coming at it. Personally, did you read anything else off of that, or?
It's an interesting one, Derek, because I think this is it may be out of character for Israel Adesanya, but this was the most we've seen him upset and mad at somebody. Usually, it's business as usual. Even with the Paeta fights, it was like, yeah, I don't like this dude, but I know what I need to do to get things done. He's never been as animated or as, like you said, expletive. It seems like Israel Adesanya was really offended by the comments that DDP made. And rightfully so. Somebody challenges your heritage. Somebody challenges shit. Somebody's coming at New Mexico, dog. We scrapping. So same thing for Israel Adesanya. It seems like this is a little bit of an emotionally driven instance. And we all know when you're going into a fight emotionally driven, it's one of the worst things you can do. Not saying he's going to do that, Derek. Not saying he's going to be ill prepared or in an ill mindset going into the fight. But it seems like there's a lot behind this one that really does it. So I believe it was a mix of that. A mix of, bro, you were talking shit. You talk shit, get hit. This was going to happen. Yeah. But also, Israel Adesanya is the consummate professional and entertainer. So he knows how to drum up and get that stir going. Another one of the best ways to do it, man. Have you side versus my side, even though we're both from the same area. It's a storyline that I think Israel Adesanya is smart for attacking. Nonetheless, he's obviously mad at it.
Yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, nothing matters more than building up the fight. That's where asses in seats, dollars in your pocket. But I will say this. The best thing that Robert Whittaker can hope for at this point is that Du Plessis upsets Adesanya. So that I think that's his only shot, bro, at touching that title again. There's no shot. This was the worst thing that could have happened, honestly. Like, he said he's taking everything I worked for, and he took it. And it's like, God. Big win by Dricus Du Plessis. Still knocks, man. South Africa is a contender in the middleweight division right there.